are connected into this technology system. Meta just rolled out their mind reading technologies several months ago. Mark Zuckerberg just sold his stock for Meta in February, which I don't think is a coincidence at all that he just sold it. He's been under investigation. That he was also being sued by Walmart with connection to pedophilia and child trafficking. And like I said, this is like a global enterprise, and there's a reason that I keep talking about it. Now, everybody says, oh, you shouldn't talk about it, stay away from it. Well, how the hell do you end trafficking if you don't talk about it, if you hide, or if you are only solely focused on yourself, protecting yourself, when there are millions of people who are affected by this trafficking? There are children who are affected by this trafficking. Anytime I sense a connection to children in this device, in this technology device, I am sending them light and love. I am sending them protections. I am sending them, to the higher light legions, protecting them. I am always trying to think of outside of myself as a victim of this trafficking. A lot of people have speculated or left comments that I have endangered my children. My child, my firstborn, was a victim of this technology at the exact same time as me in 2021. I know that she has been targeted, and I know we were targeted at the same time. I was on here with my children. I was pregnant with my children on this YouTube channel. Did I ever think for a minute that I would be infiltrated on a cellular DNA level? No, I didn't think like that. I don't think the United States thought we would be infiltrated on that level. I don't think we understood the dangers of having a person with these international business deals and affairs in a presidential seat, okay? I don't think that we understood the national security crisis that we would be facing in terms of even the Supreme Court justices that he brought in. I think that right now I have been through hell and back. I have been through hell and back. I am part of this system. It's a technology weapon system. It's very complex. It is not like cut and dry. There are multiple groups, teams that are constantly coming in to this system, and for a victim of it, you don't know who you're connecting to. You don't really know. I'm a psychic. I have visions. I see things. I have felt energies come in, and they repeat. Typically, energies repeat. Okay. There's one thing I can say about being an intuitive: the energies repeat. Okay, that's how you know. If you're hearing a name over and over and over again for months at a time, it's not a coincidence. Okay? It's not a coincidence. It's connected. You know what I mean? That's how you know as an intuitive. The messages repeat for months. It's not just like one time you hear it. It is months and years that you are getting those messages. And I believe that I am protected in some way through my spirit team, through the divine, even though I have been infiltrated. But I think there's going to be way more to this story that comes out with P. Diddy. He's just one point, okay? He's one aspect to this. And I feel that it's going to come to the forefront because it has to come to the forefront, because this is a multi-billion-dollar industry, okay? And it's global. It's global. And the people that are profiting off of the children, I'm hearing banks right now. I'm hearing the banks. I know for a fact these banks are connected. I just put a post up on my community page. I just put an article talking about the banks and how they were experimenting with a metaverse in how to increase their profits. Okay, it's interesting because I kept getting messages around the banks and then programming humans, and I was getting it in connection to Zuckerberg because I was a victim of it. That's who I kept seeing in my third eye. I put that information on my channel. It was I feel like it was titled, it was something about programming people, or are we being programmed? And I talked about it. I didn't know for sure that they were connected, but lo and behold, just found the article, PwC experimenting with a metaverse in how to have more capital gains. Okay, just found that article. Okay, that's real. That's facts. Okay. Mark Zuckerberg then rolled out his Meta mind reading technologies several months after I posted that video. I saw that man working on me. I saw him with another programmer working on me for a long time. I know what they sound like, guys. I know everything about them. That's how real it is for me. I am like a human lab rat for them. And right now, because I was a victim, because I have spoken about these technologies and how deadly, how vile they are, because I've been outspoken, they have gone after me more. Okay, they've gone after my channel, they went after my numbers, my algorithms, everything. They want to quiet me. I've been told for months I have to disappear. That's what they told me. You have to disappear, Amy. They would try to kill me, okay? They hurt me. They hit me with neuro weapons. They hit me with energy weapons. You have to die now. I have felt connected to Donald Trump. I have felt connected that they tried to murder me. They came into my ear one day and they said, today you have to die. That's the truth. That's the shit I've dealt with. And then they hit me so hard with a weapon They are hurting you in other dimensions. They are doing all kinds of things to you. It is physical pain, guys. It's not made up. I'm screaming. I was screaming. I got attacked in front of my ex-husband. I got attacked. I screamed. He didn't even look at me. He didn't even look at me. It's insane. It's insane the stuff that goes on. It's insane what they do, how they isolate you from the people you trusted most. It's insane. And that's part of the MK Ultra and them infiltrating your contracts, your soul contracts. It's next level insane. I haven't been as vocal about the murder threats, okay? And them trying to kill me, okay? And what they've done to me because I was trying to protect my children. But I have reached a point now where I had to leave my children, okay? Because I have to protect them, because I need to stay away from them. I had to get out of that situation. And that is something that, as a mother, is one of the hardest things to deal with. But when I am being told I have to disappear and leave and die daily, okay, daily, you are dealing with a whole other level. I feel like I am up against the forces of evil. And the defamation, all right, that they have done to me, saying I'm an unfit mother. I'm not an addict. I'm not an alcoholic. I bake with my children. I teach them to do things, okay? I love my daughters. I love them. I have taught them to be strong, confident women. I have talked to them about these attacks, okay, and how to deal with them. They have been attacked in the middle of the night at the same time as me. They are just as much victims as I am. But these sick people will turn the narrative around and say that you're the unfit mother, that you can't take care of them, when they have committed financial crimes against you. They have gone after my businesses. They destroyed my business. Okay? They've destroyed everything I have created. They infiltrated my job boards, guys. They infiltrated my job boards to get my information from my resumes. Okay? And how I know is because it will be names of different companies that are connected to this group, okay? It'll be like an inbox email to me from Indeed, like, Vanguard, financial person, they're hiring right now. You're qualified. I mean, it's like weird shit. Like, it's like, okay, like my ex got an audition for PwC, like to be, for a commercial for PwC, like out of nowhere. When he hasn't even communicated to his agent in like 3 years. Like, it's that level of infiltration, guys. It's like, I was talking about them on my channel, all right? They infiltrate everything that you're doing. And I feel that right now, even though they are telling me that I have to hide, and I have been faced with the victimization of these terrorists, okay? They're terrorists. This is happening globally. It's not just me, okay? It's not just me. And they can try and turn the narrative as much as they want, but it's coming out. It's coming out, guys. And the truth will continue to come out. I have not told my full story. I have not. I came on here and I talked about the threats of what was going on with me when I changed the channel back to Truth Warrior from Soul Path Journey. And I was crying on that live because I felt that in order for me to figure it out, I needed to go back to the audience that was there from the beginning, okay? And I felt very called to do that at that time. And so those videos are on the paid tier or whatever, because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I don't want to have videos up of me crying on my channel. I don't, because that's not me. That's not me at all. But when you're threatened, your life is threatened daily, and they are using energy weapons on you, bioweapons, neuroweapons. They are sex trafficking you through this network, sending you off, okay, to these different elites, pinning you up, watching you get ready every day, criticizing you, having auctions on you. That's the level of what I go through. That's what I have gone through. And at this point, I feel that I've done everything I can. I have reported this technology to Homeland Security. I've reported it to federal agencies. I reported it to my local police department. My local police department was unresponsive. I think that was the scariest part to me, is that they didn't care. My local police department did not care. So anyways, back to this, the name of the technologies, I've talked about a lot of it. If you guys are not familiar, voice to skull is probably the more common name that you would hear. Voice to skull technologies, trafficking technologies, you know, it's a combination of stuff. And there are many groups. I believe it's connected into Microsoft. I kept hearing Intel Processor 4 when they were really advancing the technologies on me. I kept hearing that over and over again. There was something around Intel Processor 4. I was getting a lot of connection to Mattel. Okay, Mattel was a big one. And I was also getting a lot of messages around an animatrix or animatronics or something system. That was early on, and tectonics. Those were the main names that kept coming through in terms of the groups. Also Hasbro came through as well, and that was like on repeat. And I know a lot of content I probably took down because I was afraid. But now with all this news stories breaking around this trafficking with P. Diddy and the tunnel systems in Brooklyn, I think there's just going to be more of this coming to light. A lot of right-wing conspiracy people were saying that there were trackers in the vaccine, and many of them did not get the vaccine. When I have researched the vaccine recently, there is a nanotechnology in the vaccine. That's very scary for me because I know that part of this system is connected to our DNA, and I know it is part of a nanotechnology, a smart dust technology. And I have talked about that. I had early on in my attack, I was choking on what felt like a piece of dust, but dust clears. The smart dust was not clearing out of my throat, and I was choking on it. And as I was choking on it, I knew that it was something foreign, okay? And I came to the conclusion that that's how they were getting my DNA, was through the molecules, the water molecules of me choking in my throat, that was possibly how they were getting my DNA as a way to infiltrate me on a cellular level, which is bioterrorism. That's biowarfare. That's also a way to infiltrate a United States citizen globally, okay? Because there's no way I could be infiltrated then by foreign intelligence, okay? By spy groups, okay, anything. Because we're no longer here in a physical space. We're here on a molecular space. We're in a cellular space. And how do we protect ourselves on that level? I did a lot of research on the technologies and the different technologies, the military technologies getting sold to China. I was doing a lot of research on that. And then it had led me to the Huawei technologies, which were put into satellite systems near, I want to say it was like 12 Air Force bases. You know, there's cloud technologies right now that the Saudis are working on. All of this stuff is happening right now. All of it is happening. And it's right in front of our faces. And I feel a lot of corporations and people in power have gotten in on this, okay? They've invested in it. I was getting a lot of messages around the NASDAQ. When you look up the NASDAQ, okay, with Wall Street, you look at who's under there, it's all the technology dogs, guys. It's all the technology guys. Now, you think about it, you have a cutting edge technology, all right? You have a cutting edge technology, you start talking about it, there's all these groups involved, secret societies, people meeting up, talking about it, talk. I have this cutting edge technology, blah, 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 blah. What are you going to do when you start investing in it, right? You start investing in it, it's going to take off, guys. It's going to take off, right? It's almost like insider trading in a way. You know, you get this hit that these different groups are getting involved with these technologies. It's going to be big, it's global, and then they get in. And, you know, that's so interesting. Hey, Jules, when she said when the P. Diddy news dropped, you were the first person I thought of. Yeah. Who's been talking about P. Diddy? Who's been talking about Justin Bieber? Who's been talking about that on their channel? Me. I've been talking about all of that with the trafficking. And this is all linked to Trump. This is all linked in. I always get messages around, you know, Celebrity Apprentice, the pageant, okay? Miss America pageant, okay? All of it. It's happening right in front of our faces. Thank you so much, Paula, for your donation. I really appreciate your support. You know, for me, like I said, so many people have said, you shouldn't talk about this, you're endangering your children. My children were targeted at the same time as me because I had daughters, okay? That's not an accident, all right? My first daughter is a victim of this technology. She has been targeted and victimized at the same exact time I was in 2021. For me as a mother, The only thing you can do is be vocal and talk about it and get it out there, because it has to become normalized. Otherwise, they put you into another category, okay? And that's not okay. That's not okay. It's interesting because you start researching these cults from the 60s and 70s. You start listening to their stories on YouTube, okay, victims of these cults. A lot of it is about this kind of satanic culture, okay? Some of it's in the Midwest. And if, you know, a lot of it is pedophilia, sexual abuse within the families, within you know, by the parents. And some of these victims say, you know, if they didn't, what would be submit, okay, to a parent, they got put in a psych ward. This has been happening a long time to women and children. They get put in, they put them in that category. I talked about schizophrenia on here, and I'm trying to debunk schizophrenia because as a psychic intuitive, I channeled dead people. You know, I channeled them. They don't harass you 24 hours a day. Dead people don't harass you. You know, ask anyone who's a medium. They don't freaking harass you, okay? The technology that I'm dealing with is a bot system, and it's a radio system, and it's through radio technologies. I was looking up actually technology trafficking and found a transmitter, a radio transmitter that they use to communicate to people with this system. And it's linked to the Navy. It's a Navy system. It's a Navy system. These systems and technologies are real. These are not made up, okay? This is, you can find it in 2 seconds. I found a woman on LinkedIn who specialized in V2K. I asked her for a resource. I got all of the freaking V2K voice to skull patents from her. I got all the people, I got all the labs, I got everywhere they're made. It's all neuro. It's all neuro weapons. It's through the brain. That's why I was wondering where Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, got his, if he's using patents, if he ran a patent for that technology. I want to know his process. I want to know who backed him. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know the whole backstory of how he created mind reading technologies. I'm a victim of them. But there are patents. There are military patents. Those are the Navy patents, by the way, that I got, the V2K ones. Now, I didn't know that there were Navy patents. I had only seen the Air Force patents, which are also part of that. The Monarch Mind Control is the Air Force patents, okay? The sexual simulation system, that's the Air Force patents, okay? And I believe it was the Air Force technology that was sold to China in 2021. And it was from somebody in San Francisco. That's right. That's Silicon Valley. That's Silicon Valley. It's all connected, okay? It's all freaking connected. And for me, as a mother of 2 daughters, and how they tormented and pulled me out of that situation. They forced me away from my daughters when I'm the one person who is protecting them, because I understand the technologies. I understand the weapon system, because I'm a victim of it and a survivor of it for 3 years now. 3 years. I hope to God that this information gets out in the correct way. Okay? I really hope to God that this comes to the light. And somebody asked me earlier on this live if they think that it is like fated for me to be here during this time. And I think it is. Absolutely. I don't think it's an accident. There's too many synchronicities with me and my life that I landed here. There's just too many odd synchronicities, weird connections to people that I know that it is definitely fated that I am in this situation right now. And I don't know who's communicating with me in my, whatever this technology system is. I don't know if they're good or bad. And that's the scariest part of it. I don't know if it's the enemy or not. And I know that also there are people that come in and they have to pretend they're the enemy to get close to me, which is even scarier. And so it's like you just don't know. You don't know who to trust. And I am a victim of sex trafficking right now. And I have put videos up on my channel about it. I have been bought and sold. Okay, it is a real thing, and it is so scary how easy it is now to do this to people with this technology. You know exactly where they are. You know they have tracking information on you. They know everything. They hear you. They know everything. They know how you look. They know everything about you, dude. Everything about you. And you don't know who they are. You have no idea who they are. So, anyways, thanks so much for all of your support on here. We've gotten a lot of, recently there's been a lot of stuff that I've been researching in connections to the system. Incel is one of them. They are abusive to women. They have these oaths of being virgins for life. It's another sick cult, okay? They are a growing terrorist threat globally. They went after Greta Thunberg, who is an outspoken environmentalist. I believe she's probably a victim of this as well. And now another group name has come forward, SACR, a right-wing group that is linked to this type of behavior as well. And Jim Jordan also talked about a secret portal. That's the portal. This is the portal. It's connected to Matt Gaetz. It is connected to Marjorie. It is connected and guaranteed. When that news story broke about the trafficking in DC being linked to high-level politicians, it is definitely connected to this. I know for a fact it is connected. Now, whether there was a cover-up in terms of the technology aspect of it, I don't know. I don't know if they're still investigating that. But they had mentioned Ticey's Corner was the area, that there were these brothels. It is definitely connected in. I have felt connected to Matt Gaetz in this device. I've talked about it on my channel. I have been connected to celebrities through this device. I have been connected to the most horrid terrorists through this system. I have definitely been infiltrated by, I believe, a foreign dignitary. And I don't know the level or what goes on as in terms of protocol. I don't know that an officer or someone would come to my door and ever tell me that, because that might not be something they could ever do, just because it could become more of a national security threat in some way. But I know I know I have been infiltrated. But for me, I feel that this ring, this dark ring connected to Epstein, the elites, celebrities, and politicians, I believe it is a form of a right-wing secret group, and everything is hush hush and no evidence ever comes forward. Ryan Garcia talks about that. He talks about the crimes keeping them in this group, okay? The crimes are what keep them quiet, because if they come forward, they go to prison. Okay, so they all commit the crimes together. It's part of the system, and that's what keeps it quiet. And so every single person who's involved, and I'm hearing the Oath Keepers coming through. The Oath Keepers, I talked about them in 2021. The list came out. They were in our government agencies, the Oath Keepers. They were in everything, the Oath Keepers. These groups, it is cult over country. It is secret society over country. Okay, that's how it works. That is how it works. And I applaud Brian for coming forward. I feel like he's connected to the system. I feel like he is also a victim of the system. I think a lot of people are a victim of the system. And it feels like we are in a prison camp together. I'm not going to lie. Where you could almost like say their name and they would come in and you can connect to them. It's very strange, guys. I can't even explain. It's like an alternate metaverse. That's when I heard metaverse and the banks experimenting with the metaverse. I have felt victimized by Deloitte and Touche. Their energies have been around me for months. I'm talking like 6 metaverse and the banks experimenting with the metaverse. I have felt victimized by Deloitte and Touche. Their energies have been around me for months. I'm talking like 6 months now, these guys. I don't know anything about Deloitte and Touche, but I know that they're around me. I know that they're freaking around me. I know for a fact that they are freaking around me, and they have tried to hurt me. And this is what happens when you enter into this kind of a territory, okay? And you can see even what's happened to Ryan since he's been vocal about it. But at some point in time, you have to talk. You have to talk. 4 horsemen. So yeah, it's just sometimes, you have to, we have to be vocal. The people who are victims of this, who are the people and victims? Usually people that have a social media following, people that are, they're touching on information that they don't want to get out. I'm a top-notch psychic intuitive. Okay, I was doing it for so long. I think I was figuring out how to break into energies. I was figuring out how to get information out. I was figuring it out because I was understanding how they were hiding the information, because I could feel it. I could feel when they were masking information. And I got out, all of that stuff. So it's like I became targeted. I know I became targeted by it. I was unveiling a lot of things they didn't want to come to the light, and I know it. And that's how they come in. So, anyways, right now, I hope more of these stories continue to break, and I hope that I finally get a form of justice. But like I said, everything is under lock and key. So if they have agents, officers, or people who are part of this ring, they would be the cover up, guys. Like, they would be the cover up within the group, so that there would be no justice for people like me. Okay, where they would pretend they're doing something, or they would say or try to. I've had issues in the last 3 months where they're trying to set me up or frame me through this system, through this device. And that's part of it. Is like they go after you and they'll create stories. I've had cars showing up on my credit report that are not my cars. They're not my cars. There's something been going on with my mail. All my mail is not showing up to my door. There's a lot of things that are happening in the physical world to me. I found nanodust particles in my scalp, okay? I have found that. That is physical evidence. I accidentally found a chat room, okay? A chat room calling in something very dark because they followed me on my MailChimp. And I was able to see who opened my MailChimp, find their email, and I ended up in a very dark terrorist chat room. I called and reported it to the FBI. They hung up on me. I believe they were targeting my daughter. An hour later, the school sent out an email that there was an incident at the school. I called that I had evidence that something was going on. They hung up on me, guys. They hung up on me. So just kind of letting you know, there's actual physical evidence of this crime and what has happened to me. This is not something I'm making up. But that's the story they will send out. That is the story. That chat room talked about firstborn child. I told you, my daughter was targeted at the same time as me. My firstborn was targeted at the same time as me. 2021. Firstborn. Anyways, I'm wishing you guys the best. I am sending you guys so much love and blessings. May the truth set us free. I believe this will set the country free. I believe if we get to the bottom of this, the country will be set free. And we will get back our justice system back to full operating order, okay? I'm sending you guys so much love. Please say prayers for my daughters and all the gaslighting that's going on around me, of them trying to say that I am the problem. Please send a light through that bullshit. Send a light. I've worked hard as F on this channel to get the right content out with the right information, factual information, not me making it up, okay? I have worked my ass off on getting the information, getting the freaking right articles, the right stories, the right technology names. I have worked my ass off on it. And that is not a person who is, not cued in, okay? That's a person that's doing a lot of fucking research. So anyways, I love y'all. Thanks again.